Good evening, everybody. We're going to unshare our screen. There we go. I want to say welcome to all of our families this evening. Thanks for joining us. It's right around 6:30, so we're going to try and start on time. I've got a little bit of a preamble, so if additional families are still logging in, it'll give them a couple of minutes just to get up to speed before we move ahead. So just to set the table, this is one of our regular community updates. The goal is just that, to keep our families in the loop in terms of where the building is, in terms of preparation as we move towards school opening in August. Start to build either relationships or put a name with a face. So we're trying to introduce the faculty and staff from Gainesville High School to our parents and students. So we have a number of team members here, and we'll introduce a couple of departments to our families. And then we'll describe some of the upcoming events and future opportunities just to connect, learn more about the school program offerings and those kinds of things. So first and foremost, a quick update as far as the school's concerned. Construction continues. The move-in date is fluid. And while that concept remains, we're reluctant to push out too much as far as formal orientation details in terms of face-to-face, students taking a tour of the building, parents and family members getting on campus, just because we don't want to have to reschedule and then reschedule again. So once we have firm and concrete dates and we know what we're allowed to do from a permitting and occupancy perspective, then we'll start pushing out plans for orientations. At the very least, the week before school, the week of August 16th, our students will be invited to step on campus and tour the building, hopefully meet each of their classroom teachers, meet a school counselor, a school administrator, and really just get the lay of the land. We're hoping that prior to that, we'll be able to invite families on campus and have more of an open house type of atmosphere where we'll have tours of the building and let folks explore the stadium and so on and so forth. So more to come. We appreciate your patience as far as that's concerned. I just want to share the logic behind why we haven't pushed out more concrete details as far as orientation goes. But we do have some details about how we're going to try and close the gap, plug the gap this evening. Okay, very quickly, I'll introduce the team in the room, and I'll start with Kristen Mackert.
Hi, I'm Kristen Mackert. I'm one of the math teachers at Gainesville High School. Excited to be a part of the team. Welcome everybody to the school.
Thanks, Kristen. John Treadwell.
Good evening. My name is John Treadwell. I will be the Special Education Department Chair at Gainesville High School. I've been attending IEP meetings for some of our transitioning students. So if I've already met you, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Katie Wood.
Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Wood, and I will be the English Department co-chair with Anne Marie. Welcome, everyone. It's nice to see so many people here.
Anne Marie Moore.
Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Moore. Like Katie said, I will be the co-chair of the English department with her at Gainesville, and we are looking forward to meeting you all hopefully in person soon.
Jason Eldridge.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Eldridge. I'm the Director of Student Activities. Thanks for joining us today.
And Robert Scott.
Hi, folks. My name is Robert Scott. I'm the Specialty Program Coordinator, the Pathways Program Coordinator. It's nice to have you all out tonight. We'll be around all summer. Track us down anytime with questions.
And I worked clockwise around my screen. I don't think I got back to midnight. So Megan Pomfret.
Hi, Megan Pomfret. I'll be the Director of School Counseling at Gainesville High School. So I feel like I've met a lot of you. Feel free to use the Q&A as we are going. If you have questions, you can pop them in there. We'll answer them as quickly as we can. Mr. Beach, you're on mute.
There we go. I got it. I caught myself. Again, that Q&A feature, family members, students, parents, you're welcome to use it. Fire questions at us. We'll do the best we can to keep up during the course of the webinar this evening. So we're going to screen share at this time. We've got a very brief slide deck that we'll share with you. And it starts with this. So we have some upcoming opportunities to connect. Let's broadly describe them as that. In the virtual environment, we scheduled 2 more, and there's likely to be an ongoing effort in this regard for our parents just to drop in and meet with the administrative team. We may have other guests in there, but there's really no set agenda. We are welcoming parents to come on in. I'll probably give another quick update just to let everybody know where we are in terms of staffing, construction, other things. And then we go into breakout rooms. We'll let parents choose which administrator they connect with. So I think Mr. Treadwell is going to be with us tomorrow, along with Drew Barton, our assistant principal, who will be supervising the special education program. We'll have a school counselor with us. I'll be there. Mr. Eldridge will be there. So we'll allow parents to kind of drift between a couple of breakout rooms to, again, ask questions, connect, and hopefully we'll help you with the transition that's coming up for our students. The student forums, we sent out an invitation by email to our students through their Prince William County Schools email address, but we also copied parents in that email saying, we want your feedback. We want to hear from you students about the things you want to see and experience at Gainesville High School. So we've had, I guess, 3 now of these student forum meetings. We've had somewhere in the region of 25 to 30 students in the room, and we've asked students about school spirit. What does school spirit mean? What types of events do students want to see? And drilling a little bit deeper. So you said pep rally. What do you mean by pep rally? What happens during a pep rally? Where and when do they occur? We talked today with a group of students about the classroom environment. What are the things they want to see and experience instructionally in their school? Next week at 3 o'clock, again, clubs, scholastic groups, and sports. And Mr. Eldridge is really going to lead that conversation about where students want to go in terms of the opportunities that are presented to them. We're going to get into furniture and signs and branding and those kinds of details on July 7th. We have some of our construction budget that's set aside to, let's go with embellish or make the school feel like it's Gainesville High School and the Gainesville High School that our students want to experience. And then finally, July 14th, school culture, talking about norms and expectations and how we address certain things that occur in the school. Celebrations, celebrating student successes, those kinds of things. So again, parents, encourage your student, your child to be there if they can. Students, if you're listening, please show up and bring a friend. We genuinely want to hear your feedback so we can take action between now and obviously the end of the coming school year to make your school look and feel like your school. Down at the bottom, then we've got a meet and greet tomorrow. That's a face-to-face meeting at Reagan Middle School. We had a sign-up genius, so if you've signed up, then you have a time spot. The Bull Run meet and greet was postponed from, when was that? Monday of this week, because of the potential of the thunderstorm that came through. So we've rescheduled for July 12th. And again, if you signed up through the sign-up genius, you still have your slot. But we invited parents through email for those events. So they're coming up. Check Twitter, check your email. We may have a few. I hate to call them guest appearances. That sounds like we're a really big attraction, but we may have a couple of pop-up appearances at local places of interest. Again, just an opportunity for families to roll through and on a face-to-face basis, meet myself, Mrs. Pomfret, Dr. Scott, Mr. Eldridge, ask questions, make connections, maybe get a free bumper sticker, a car magnet, and Gainesville High School pencil or something. So coming up, and we'll push those events out through social media and other avenues closer to the time. Okay, on the next slide, we have an update of the buildings. So I was just sharing with the team that if you look in the bottom left, that's one of our 2 commons or cafeteria areas. Structurally, it's more or less complete. We still need floor tile, but it still feels like a construction area. The middle of the top row of pictures, that's the northwestern corner of our school library. So we have usable furniture, the carpet's in, the bookshelves are in. A little bit more furniture to be delivered, but it's starting to look and feel like a a really nice high school. We have a teacher workspace, teacher space for collaboration, planning, and such on the top left. And top right, you can see we've received our first shipment of student desks. I'm hoping they're not going to appear in rows like that once the school year begins, but that's where the installation company put them, and the chairs are coming shortly thereafter. On the next slide, we have some more updates. So the top left-hand screen is the Passover Bridge, one of the walkways that takes us from the journalism and gifted ed classrooms through to our business and marketing classrooms, the main lobby of the building, if you will. So a lot of the wood paneling's in place, the drywall's in, it's starting to look close to finished. You can see the floor tiles in probably 75 of our hallways. The middle image on the left-hand side is the school counseling office. So our counseling officers have conference tables, desks, and such. Bottom left, we're getting stage lighting installed. That's happening as we speak. In fact, I think that the stage lighting's about to be wrapped up, and the auditorium's close to completion. The bottom image on the right-hand side's from the sound and light booth, and you can see all the seats are in, all the wood paneling and the clouds are in, so it's starting to really look impressive. And then the gym has bleachers on both sides. The bleachers are installed and completed, and the floor is being prepared today and tomorrow to start being painted, striped, and have a logo painted. So it's moving along. On the next slide, you can see all of the boxes of furniture that still need to be unpacked and put in various locations. That's about, I don't know, 15% of the deliveries we've received. We have a similar number of boxes in a warehouse waiting to be delivered with weight room equipment, iPads, laptops, band saws and circular saws for our CT department, among other things. We've got a conference room. You can see our extended learning area has floor tile down, and we actually have furniture in there now. And bottom left is a world language classroom. So there's a teacher desk, but importantly, the smartboard is up and running. So we have flat panel displays in about 80% of our classrooms now, and they're operational. So it's all coming together. Exciting to see. There's a lot of work to do. We're still really busy with it, but it's coming along. All right. This slide is the sneak peek to the orientation web platform that we're going to send out. We're going to send the URL out by email to our community probably tomorrow. But orientation.gainesvillehs.com is the URL. You're welcome to go to that website now if you want. It is active. It's not going to give you a tour of the building and procedures for securing early release and parking passes and some of those really fine details that I know some of our families are craving. You won't get yet. We're still working on those details, but what we're again trying to do is introduce ourselves to our community. So you'll see welcome messages or introductory messages from many of our teachers in our departments. There's information about the school library. So you know, a little bit more information. You can peruse it at your leisure. We're going to try and update it with some frequency, so it should become more complete as the summer progresses. But anyway, this is our first effort to get you some of the information you want. But keep checking back to that website if you want to bookmark it. There'll be more coming over time. Next slide. Okay, before I introduce Mrs. Mackett one more time, I'm gonna share that I'm a parent. I have a 7- and 11-year-old, and my daughter's in a swim practice right now. My 7-year-old daughter's at a swim practice, and I have to run to make sure that she's not aimlessly walking around a swimming pool looking for me nervously. So I'm going to disappear partway through the next couple of slides. And Mrs. Pomfret's going to wrap up the webinar this evening. But I just want folks to know that we all face the same pressure sometimes as parents to be two places at once, and I appreciate your patience with me if I duck out. So without any further ado, Mrs. Mackett will introduce our math department.
Good evening, everyone. This is kind of like our motto that we've written here as a department, where we really are focusing on the learning and making sure that your child by the end of the year really has learned something in their courses, and that's what our focus is going to be on. Megan, will you hit the next slide for me? There we go. So we are a team of 10. There's eight teachers pictured here. We've introduced ourselves, I believe, on social media as we've joined the team. There are 2 additional teachers that are not pictured here. We have Colleen O'Neill and Mr. Daniel Tavener are also part of our team. But these are just pictures, put a name to a face so you can kind of see who we are. Next slide. And this is kind of a little summary of our department and kind of our philosophy and what we believe. We really think that, mistakes happen and they allow real thinking to happen so we can learn. That's something that, we truly believe, and we want our students to believe and our families to believe as well. You're going to find that your child in their mathematics classes are going to explore. They're going to really be able to show and explain what they know. We believe that it is a life cycle, or a learning cycle, sorry, where they're going to kind of cycle through concepts multiple times throughout the entire year. It's not just going to be modular where they do one unit and another unit, but it's really going to, students are going to see concepts repeated throughout the year. They're going to have multiple opportunities to practice and grow, and multiple opportunities to demonstrate that they do, they've mastered what they've learned. Our philosophy in the math department really is that the grade is going to reflect the end of the journey. So we're going to really focus more on the learning part, and that grade can evolve. It's fluid, and that at the end of the year is really what's key here. It's going to reflect what you know at the end, not necessarily how you got there. Another focus of ours is that, not every student, high school math is not about just trying to get to calculus, but it's really about the problem solving, it's the critical thinking, it's how to communicate mathematics. And so that's really what our focus is going to be on, is can students really talk about and explain what they know and understand? We also are going to have an evolving selection of course offerings. As our school continues to grow, our course offerings will also continue to grow. In addition to calculus, we'll have statistics, discrete math, computer science, in addition to our geometry, algebra courses as well. We're excited to support our students in all the pathways, not just our math pathways, but we do believe that it's a critical part of all the pathways. So we're excited to get to know you and excited to work with your child this fall. So thank you.
All right. Our next department that will be up is our special education department. We have Mr. Treadwell here. I'm going to hand it over to him.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Treadwell. As I said before, I'm going to be the special education department chair. I've met many families in IEP meetings discussing the transition from middle school to high school, and also from other high schools within Prince William County. I continue to be accessible during the summer. If you have a question about an IEP or a 504, if you just need a question answered that I wasn't able to answer during the spring, I encourage you to send me an email and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Our special education team, I've listed them. Our teachers come from from within Prince William County schools and from outside Prince William County schools. I feel that we have a very strong team. I'm excited to get them into the building and to begin to work with our students. And I know that you will find them to be really good teachers. So we're really excited to work with all of you. In preparing to open the school, We've really worked hard to prepare the supports that we're going to have in place. We're going to have a comp skills reading course. We're going to be using the Read 180 program. With research has shown that that is an effective program to help students who require that remediation in reading. One of our big focuses is also going to be on executive functioning. In our learning strategies course, we're going to be using several curriculums and have special supports that we're going to be using to help our students. So we look forward to introducing that in the fall. And I've been able to, as I said, talk about that in some of our IEP meetings that I've attended. We're going to be really focusing on having an inclusive school culture. It's been really nice to receive emails from students and parents asking about, clubs and opportunities to support inclusion. And we'll have more information forthcoming about how we plan on doing that. We're going to have a state-of-the-art sensory room to support our students with autism. I've been working in conjunction with some of our occupational therapists in the county, as well as our new autism teacher, to make sure that room is there to support our students. We're going to have a learning lab for students to go and take assessments during the school day, or if they need assistance with an assignment, we're going to have that staffed with teachers. And I really look forward to implementing that at Gainesville. We're going to have an SSD coordinator to make sure that our students have the accommodations that they require for the SAT and the PSAT. I've spoken to some of our incoming parents about that at IEP meetings. And in future IEP meetings with our families, I will be talking about making sure that our students have the accommodations that they require for those assessments. As I said before, if you have any questions about special education, I'm available this summer. I'm going to type in my email address to make sure that you have it. And I look forward to seeing you all and opening our building. It's going to be very exciting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Treadwell. Next, we have up our English department, Ms. Wood and Ms. Moore.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get us started tonight. So again, I'm Anne-Marie Moore, and I'm one of the co-chairs of the English department at Gainesville High School. So tonight we're just going to kind of briefly go over a few details about our department, including our course offerings, our highlights, and show you a way to get to know some of our teachers. So for course offerings, as you can see on the slide, we'll have the traditional English 9, 10, and 11 with advanced options for each course. The advanced option for English 11 is AP Language and Composition. We also have several electives in our department. For next year, we will have creative writing, journalism, yearbook, and theater, and we are looking forward to growing those programs in the coming years and maybe adding on more as our community and our student body continues to develop. I'm going to pass it off to Katie. She's going to talk a little bit about the highlights in our department and show you a way to start to put some faces with names for your English teachers for next year.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Wood once again. I'm just going to share a little bit about what we're all about in English. We will be working together as a team collaboratively to create some vertically aligned curriculum. And one really great thing we have going on right now is every student will have digital access to our newly adopted English language arts textbooks, which is really great. In English classrooms, choice will be a priority. So although we have a textbook, the textbook will be used mainly as mentor texts to help students look for different patterns or to practice writing skills. And then we're hoping that our classrooms will be very robust with books so that students really will have a lot of options in what they would like to read. So as I said, we're going to focus on using lots of mentor texts and developing students in their thinking and writing through just lots and lots of choice. And you can see the list of our team there. Most of our teachers are already teaching in Prince William County or have connections to Prince William County. And you can see there's a QR code there. If you want to scan that with your phone, it should take you to a Flipgrid with a bunch of videos for recommendations for summer reading. So we don't have any specific works of literature that we would require students to read over the summer, but we just want them to be reading. And so we've book talked a few of our favorites that we would love if students would enjoy. So thank you everyone for coming out tonight. We both are looking forward to working with all of you.
Awesome, thank you. And I did check the Flipgrid or the QR code, it works. So if you want to scan that real quick, so you can check out the Flipgrid of our English department, that would be great. I'll leave it up for like another few seconds. And then in a moment, I'm going to hand it off to Mr. Eldridge. That is the end of our presentation. And Mr. Eldridge, are you able to update the community on how things are going with athletics and activities?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Jason Eldridge. I'm dropping in the chat right now a link for everybody to see at our main school webpage. I want to remind everybody that we do have registration elements that are necessary to be involved in activities, particularly our athletic teams, to include a VHSL physical. A link to that form is there. Currently, a couple things going on. We've hired a golf coach, Mr. Scott King from Prince William County Golf Course. He's a golf pro, 33 years Division I coaching experience. He started William & Mary, went to Kent State and coached there, and then returned to George Mason for his last 15 years. So good things come to those who wait. I don't know how that dropped in our lap, but we've got a Division I coaching golf pro. He also serves as the main instructor at our Prince William County Golf Course, which also is serving as our home golf course for Cardinal Golf Team. So I'd like to welcome Mr. King to the team. Couple things to note. You gotta, we're working on the Our School website. GainesvilleCardinals.com is obviously our domain. That main page is still under construction. It's there. You can go to it and see it, but things are still building. One of the things that we're putting in there is an online registration. I don't know when that's going to go live for everybody to start inputting their registration documents to include when their concussion ed was finished and their completed VHSL physical. Reminders, you got to have a physical from the VHSL updated form. Again, the link was attached in the chat. You also have to put in an emergency care form. That's for us to have emergency care contact information in case something happens. And you need a concussion ed training. Now, the county has not released the updated concussion training online. All students will and parents will be required to do that training from the presentation online this year. I think next year, potentially, rising ninth graders may go back to in-person. We'll see, but for right now, this year, it's all online. Facilities are coming along and equipment's coming in, just like Mr. Beach outlined. So we're real excited. Activities start technically by the VHSL on July 29th. Not sure our teams are going to be ready for that given the campus facility, but we are targeting a July 29th or August 2nd start date. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody and getting everybody involved. Thanks for coming.
And that is our presentation for this evening. We're going to turn our cameras off, but we'll sit around for a couple of minutes if you want to put some questions in the Q&A. We'll be happy to answer them, but please keep an eye on our website. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out. Most of the admin team will be working over the summer, so we are accessible and our contact information is on the website. So thank you all for coming and have a great evening.